All of us have heard that joy in doing good on the sly is simply unputdownable. I witnessed few of the things which I must share today. I'm going to talk to you, my friends, today of my known people who has really put this dictum, the joy in doing good on the sly, is the most pleasurable and the most satisfying activity. Today I'm going to talk about them without taking their name because that they don't want to disclose their name. My friend, all of us have experienced at times the warm glow that comes from performing a good deed and getting credit for it. But there's a special kind of satisfaction that comes from doing good and keeping it secret. Those who practice this higher altruism are actually the connoisseurs of inner joy and its loftiest refinement. I I know a person who went to an understaffed orphanage every uh, Wednesday afternoon. He's still going it to spend an hour or two entertaining the youngsters, doing card tricks, telling story, giving the harassed matrons and her staff a period of rest and freedom. When the curious tries to discover their identity, the stranger would only say, "That's not important." Cut from the same cloth was an elderly stranger. I know him personally very well, who appeared one day in a hospital. This I'm talking about in Kanpur itself. And the hospital, and he's saying, "I know you must have many odd jobs that need doing, but let me help." He's telling people in the hospital, and for 4 months he performed countless menial tasks: sweeping the parking lot, building ramps, removing clothes from the laundry, and all kind of small jobs. And anyone asking his name, he will always smile back and shook his head. "If you know who I am," he used to say, he replied, "you would feel obliged to feel obligated." Beautiful reply. And that will spoil the spirit of my joy in doing good in sly, in quiet. Only people certainly come to know, but only after he moves to another hospital or another place, the hospital people, all those, they learn that he was a very senior retired civil servant. A widowed, he had filled months of forced inactivity and grief with cheerful service, rehabilitating his own spirit as well as spreading cheer all around him. A beautiful thing. How many of us can do that? But he did it. And my friend, remember, the art of secret altruism does not come naturally. It must be cultivated, for it goes against the natural grains of our ego. All of us, we want others to recognize any act of ours that we consider especially noble or unselfish. When such notice is not forthcoming, we are tempted subtly to call attention to it. In so doing, my friend, however, we often discover that the deed has been devalued by suspicion that its prominence was prompted, at least partly, by some credit we crave for. Also, in an eagerness to help, we sometimes fail to recognize how embarrassing our gift may be, to the gift maybe to be sensitive, or how heavy upon the recipient may seem the obligation of gratitude. These are all for the sensitive people, food for thought. And let me tell you, the Prophet of Islam, he's used to used to the supreme preacher, I would say, of uh, and practitioner of doing good secretly. You all know that he used to say that if your right hand gives, the left hand must not know. He decried the ostentatious charity, warned his followers to take heed that you do not, uh, your alms, you should not give your alms before men to be seen by them. After healing uh, some sick person, injured person, he used to sternly tell him that, see that thou tell no man, and left the scene immediately. My friend, the singular lesson comes up that secret giving need not be costly in either time or money. It called only for a keen eye and an understanding heart. I again, I know a doctor who, knowing, who was having such a keen eye and understanding heart, knowing that one of his patient needed a certain expensive medicine he could ill afford, he managed with a wholesome drug for him to send the required drug from a pharmacist or some manufacturing unit, that the entire packet should be sent to the person with a sample label posted on it, and he used to do it with many patients. I know a teacher who's sensing that a bright but uninterested pupil had hidden talents and that needed help. He very quietly subscribed few magazines, science magazines, to be delivered to that boy regularly to his home. And that magazine turned the uh, trick, and while the boy never learned who his benefactor was, the boy went on to become a research scholar later in life. But not only a research scholar, but he did very well in the field of science. I know of a friend who makes a hobby of writing unsigned but encouraging letters to men in public life, who in his estimate are performing with integrity despite stinging criticism. And his theory, when I speak to him, his theory is very simple and very striking, meaningful. He says, for the most part, politicians gets letters of appreciation only from people who want something in return, and they get anonymous letters only from cranks who want to blow off steam when angry. So why not, he asked, blow off a little appreciation as well, and with no strings attached at all. People have unique ideas and do the unique in their unique manner service to the people and to the in a society and to nation. Those who do those who had a good I feel those who do good quietly and without thoughts of reward are the ones who understand what Maulana Room had to say. That best portion of a good man's life, his little nameless, unremembered acts of kindness, of love. It's amazing how much good can be done in this world if one does not care for who gets the credit, and how it can set out life aglow, my friend. The pleasure of doing good quietly is manifold. It is indescribable. It cannot be put in words, but certainly reflected in the face of those people and the aura, the halo along their bodies. हाथ खाली है तेरे शहर से जाते जाते, जान होती तो मेरी जान लुटाते जाते. हमसे पहले भी मुसाफिर कई गुजरे हैं, कम से कम राह के पत्थर तो हटाते जाते. Be a warrior, my friend. Do as much or as little good you can, quietly, discreetly, on the sly, and enjoy the pleasure. Have a glow on your face. Thank you very much.